Hello everybody and welcome back to the Anmore Virtual Bus YouTube channel. You join me, Anmore Central, otherwise known as Anmore Bus Videos, otherwise known on this channel as Anmore Virtual Bus. Same person, different channel, same voice. And you join me back in OMSI 2. I'm back in the Adstow project Beta 6. That has been developed. The Adstow project has been developed for a number of years. It's an incredibly detailed map. It's had a lot of personal love and care put into it by someone incredibly passionate about their project. And today you join me for another driving it. In front of us is Y06JYK, which was TM Travel's 1178. A bit of a patchwork. Scenic OmniDekka. It moved from the Knox and Derby business quite a few years ago. Never got repainted. It was always in Knox and Derby colours. As you can see, it ended up a little bit patchwork before its withdrawal. It is a Scenic OmniDekka, part of the Lanxbus OmniDekka pack that is available to buy, and the repaint itself is a free download. It does have slightly unrealistic seats inside it. The seats aren't what you'd find in 1178, but I believe it might have been updated, or at least the developers working to update it to reflect the different seats. In today's video, you join me at Adstow train station. The only service that starts properly, I believe, from the train station is the rail replacement. So today we are going to be doing some rail replacement work from here to Hyton. No, I think that's how you pronounce it, Hyton, there we go. So we're going to be doing a rail replacement service between Adstow and Hyton station. The route apparently is suggested to take us about half an hour, although it will probably take us slightly less as soon as we set up here. We then just whiz all the way through and just pretty much crack on with it. So it should be a relatively decent run. So we got a nice screenshot of the bus before we set off, because as you can all see, I have lined it up perfectly with the sunlight. So gotta make most of these things, minus the odd person walking in the way. I wanted to choose the OmniDekka for the rail replacement. I just thought an OmniDekka is a slightly older vehicle. I don't know where you'd else picture it, sort of Devon and Cornwall nowadays, especially as Go Ahead pretty much got rid of all their OmniDekkas at Plymouth. So I thought shoving it on the rail would be an absolutely ideal use for it, and as I say, a sort of an independent operator look of a bus like this, 1178 repaint. Genuinely, this is how it looked in its last few months. Does seem appropriate, as it does look a little bit patchwork. Sometimes on rail you do get stuff like this, especially on emergency work. So yeah, I just thought we could pretend that this has just been sold from TM Travel to an independent who are currently running it like this before painting it on a rail replacement contract. Sure, we're going to have some people. There we go.
Good morning,
mate.
How
we
you
can't
doing?
do this entire video. So there's no point in logging in the machine, because everybody is buying a train ticket or already has one. So there's no point of us logging into the machine, so we'll just leave it like this. But here we go, let's make our way to Hyton station. So yeah, it suggests that it's going to take us about 20 minutes to get there, so whether it does or not, I don't know, but we'll have to see. So I mean, it is advertised when you click on it as half an hour, on there it appears to say 20 minutes, so we'll see how long it takes. It might be a shorter rail run, it might be a longer run. But as someone that has actively done rail replacement very recently, and it's their main job, it does feel quite appropriate to have a go at the rail replacement route. I just really fancied it. Sometimes you're just in the mood to drive different routes and runs, and it was just one of those times I sort of just booted upon me and I thought, oh yeah, we'll have a go at the rail replacement. So Adstow is a work in progress map. It is a map that has been in beta testing for quite some time. I last drove it on the Bus Videos channel about a year ago, I want to say, something like that, a year and a half ago, when I got given the previous variation that was beta number 5. Now, beta number 5 included about 3 or 4 routes. I believe this one includes about 5 or 6 routes. So there's a lot more routes in this variation. Some of which did feature in the previous incarnation, some of them didn't. I want to say that this rare replacement is one of the new ones, like I wanted to say the 101 I think is as well, the Park and Ride, because I don't remember doing them last time. I know I did the 99, the 16, or the 16A, one of the two, and I think the 2 and the 2A. I did them, but I definitely haven't done the 101 of the rail. There's also the 20 that I definitely haven't done. So I am going to do a little bit of research after this video, make sure I'm not repeating the routes. And the idea is we'll drive all the new routes and then we'll revisit some of the old ones, because again, as it is a work in progress, it is constantly getting worked on. That does mean that it's one of these that a lot's still changing with it. So if we do drive pre-existing routes, we're guaranteed to see new scenery, new elements, some route extensions. I know I think the 2 and 2A have been extended, because where they finished in beta 5 was only ever temporary. So I know they've been extended, but as I say, this is definitely the most routes I've ever seen in Adstow, and as I say, the most completed I've seen it, because this is the joys of driving maps when they're work in progress. Some people aren't as much of a fan of it, some people dislike driving work in progresses, and some YouTubers just won't do it, but I absolutely love it, because you get to see a map evolve, you get to see it grow, you get to see it be enhanced, and you build up the hype and the excitement, because again, we've got to remember that quite a lot of these maps, including this one, are people's personal projects. They are their personal babies. Like, they have worked on these maps for years and years, and Adstow, I know he's been working on it for years and years and years, because as I mentioned in the previous video when we looked at the 101, if you haven't already, do go and have a look at that one, we discussed how this map was something that was being worked on when I was pretty big in the OMSI world, when I used to do projects and stuff like that. So this is a personal project that has been in the works for absolutely years. Seriously a long time, and a lot of love and care has gone into this map. So, as you can clearly see, the hills, the gardens, the trees, the traffic lights, the unique junctions, the roundabouts, like, the scenery is ideal on this. I mean, you look at the houses, the transition, like, I'm very, very big on urban to rural transition, and if it's not done correctly, it looks rubbish. But just look at that, for example. You've got the houses, you've got the 30 mile an hour, and then you straight out into the 40. It feels realistic. The houses start to reduce and look straight out onto a dual carriageway. And that's how it would be. That is literally how it would be. You've still got all the 40 repeater markers as well. Again, something that other maps can miss out on. You saw the 40 repeater there, the hedges, the road markings, just absolutely beautiful with this map. And again, realism with these speed limits as well, because you would start with a 40 usually, then go into a national speed limit once you're off sort of like the outer ring road of a village or a town. So the Adstow project is based fictitiously around Devon, but also incorporates some Cornish elements, so it's a bit of Devon and Cornwall combined, a little bit of both put together. So, for example, some of the branding on the bus stop suggests that we're going to have the Lizard route in, for example. So you've got Stagecoach, Devon on the Park and Ride, like you would in Exeter, like an Exeter Star Park and Ride service. So you've got that added realism, and big operators as well, big operators, like Stagecoach and First operating, so it's really cool. I've got lots of repaints and bits lined up to drive on this, and my apologies that there is no other AI. I'm a little bit conscious that there's a couple of the vehicles that are required for AI on this that I currently don't have installed, so I don't want the map to sort of have a bit of a breakdown, because sometimes we all know what OMSI 2 is like. Sometimes OMSI 2 is a little bit of a breakdown when you don't have all the vehicles and bits for the AI. This is place. So we're literally straight out into the country road. But you still go through the town centre, you still have that town centre element, and I imagine we'll go through the other place as well. Apparently we are slightly early, so we'll see. I'm gonna have to move across, sorry Ford.
Hey lads, are we on the
That's a bad driver.
So Highton, the road's got interesting muddy roads, look at this! I'm gonna have to pause this for a sec. Look at this, look at the mud and the dirt on the road. You can tell you've pulled off like the main road. That's awesome, I'll have to get a screenshot. That's cool. I mean, it isn't the highest texture in the world, but again, OMSI 2 limitations. But look at this, you're going to tell you're sort of off the main A road. Like, you're still an open enough road with your passing points and you're understanding that there's trucks, big coaches, but the road feels different. The vibes are different. It's not like a pristine main road. And then you've got this nice hill here. Again, something I do really like with the Adstow project is all of these different hills and the different gradients and the fact that you are always going up a hill or down a hill. It's very rare that you are just on the flat for a while. That again is what it's like in Devon and Cornwall. You are constantly going up or down a hill. And they're not just standard hills like our steep hills, especially in Cornwall. I remember this from the last time we were here, in Beta 5. Oh yeah, this is that cool junction. Amazing. Well, what's good about these junctions is they are how you would realistically find them. Like, that's very similar to a junction that you'd find... I want to say Redroof is the place. Yeah, the place one on from Camborne, Redroof. That's like a junction you'd find in Redroof, near the railway station. And if you do miss the lights, you will be late. And again, cool realism with it, it's what you want. Oh, and then we get to go over this bridge again. Oh, this bridge is amazing. I forgot about this. But again, I can just see the scenery's just been enhanced ever so slightly, just little bits of enhancement on it, little bits of additional detail. So cool. I mean, this has got to be one of the most scenic rail replacement routes gone by a long mile. Can't be many this scenery. It does feel like the bus is so appropriate to the rail though. It is like, having done rail all over the place, this is kind of like the staple of a sort of interesting motor on rail. Like, don't get me wrong, you do get good vehicles on rail, but like a long term project during the school days, school term, this is the kind of vehicle you'd get if you want a double-decker, something that is kind of just a spare bus, a last-minute purchase of a spare bus. So yeah, this is the Scenic OmniDekka is still a relatively recent release from OMSI 2. We are being blessed very recently with a lot more additional repaints for it. Oh, it seems to be struggling a bit. We seem to be blessed with a lot more repaints recently for this. As I say, the TM Travel Pack was one I was quite excited about when it released. You do get 1175 and 78 in it, so you get sort of the standard red one, and then you get 1178 with all of its patchwork panels. That, as I say, from my perspective, having seen 1178 go around for years and now sadly withdrawn, it is really cool to sort of have this in the world of OMSI 2, so it can live forever. The OmniDekkas were definitely overdue for withdrawal when they did get withdrawn, and we were expecting them to go 2 years prior. So the fact that at the time of filming this there is literally still one of them out in service gives you an idea as to how long of an extended prolonged life they've had. especially saying that Sheffield has a clean air zone, and we've had the clean air zone for about 2 years now, so they should have really gone about 2 years ago, but hey ho, these things happen, I suppose. No, it's just a random boat dumped again. Very Devon and Cornwall behaviour. It's also been a while since I've driven an OmniDekka. I mean, I shunted one recently, but I haven't driven one in use for quite a while. They seem to be becoming a rarer breed, like up to tempos, for example. Definitely seem to be becoming a rarer breed, so you don't get to drive them as much, unfortunately. I also need to make sure I get the random pack reinstalled, because I have literally just reinstalled this bus to use on this route. Like I looked and I thought, I really want to go in the OmniDekka, so I reinstalled it just to use it on here, but I didn't get the random pack reinstalled, thus why the front does, the steering wheel does not have the Scania badge on it, so my apologies for that, but the repaint works and that's the main thing that matters. Now this wasn't the only Notts and Derby liveried OmniDekka to operate 40M travel. We did get one from this batch. We got number 11, I think, from this batch on loan, one of the 56 plates with seat belts. That was on loan for like 3 or 4 days. I remember going on it and it was probably the roughest Scania OmniDekka I've ever been on, and that says a lot. For the OmniDekkas that I have travelled on, that does say a lot. So it was the roughest one. It was a 56 plate, literally arrived a couple of weeks before Clean Air Zone proper kicked in. Full Notts and Derby livery. I don't think it ever had a blind programmed in. It literally ran with paper throughout its week or 2 stay. Then we've had one of the longer ex-Nottingham examples, a 53 plate operate here. I never went on that one, unfortunately, but I do have a photograph of it. I was quite good because that was over the summer last year, the year before, I think, one of the two, probably the year before, where we had a load of additional double-deckers for the 218 service. So I went on quite a few of these. I went on the Charger 2s, went on the B9s, just didn't get that Nottingham OmniDekka in because it was just quite just a rare one to appear, and every time it appeared I was just, it were going to Bakewell, and I just thought, I don't fancy a trip to Bakewell right now, so I just never managed it, but I did get a photograph of it. They still have it, but I think with the Clean Air Zone, I can't see it coming on loan anytime soon. What they tend to loan us now is the ex-Lothian diesel conversion E400s if we do need anything. But on the hindsight of that, the latest double-deck addition to TM Travel, which is the Trident, the ex-Aviva Yorkshire 190 X1903, now 1400, that is an absolute weapon. That is one of the best Tridents I have been on in a long time. On Trident 2s I've been in a long time. They are absolutely beautiful vehicles. Seriously nice motors. Having grown up with them, I grew up with them as a kid, so I can warrant for the fact that they are beautiful buses. So to have one running around in Sheffield for at least the next couple of years is really nice. Full still max spec inside, it's really cool inside, and repainted into the updated TM Travel livery. That again, is just beautiful. Such a nice livery on the bus in the sunlight, and the bus absolutely flies. It is really nice vehicle, seriously nice vehicle. But again, there is a video that has just was released on that last week, the week before. Yeah, it was a couple of weeks ago it released. I have to think because I filmed this slightly before it comes out. But yeah, it was released a couple of weeks ago. Do go and check out that video. It was a slightly longer than normal video. I had quite a lot of interesting history about the bus and the relevance of that vehicle type operating in Sheffield, and that Aviva Yorkshire operating in Sheffield. So quite a lot of interest there in that video. So do go and have a look at it because, as I say, it is a cool one to look at, definitely. So I will try and remember to link it in the description. If not, just make sure you click the subscribe button on the Adstow Central channel, my main one, and you will be able to find it in recently released videos. I'm absolutely loving this route on rail. We seem to be going down some of the more interesting roads. Definitely some interesting roads. Well, we are in Highton now, so we are in the correct village, and there's the train station. So I think arriving in 3 minutes early, I think that's us. I haven't done too bad for time, really. So we'll let everybody off, give them a second, and then we'll go and park in the car park, because that's what you do on rail. If you're running early and you're looking for somewhere to park, the station car park is always a good shout. And there's the first bus depot as well. I would have liked to dump it over there where that car is, but again, in typical rail replacement nature, there's a car in the space that you want to park in. So, not the first time that that's happened, even in real life. So yeah, so that was the Adstow to Highton rail replacement service. With the Lancs bus OmniDekka, the Scania OmniDekka, that is available to purchase on Steam. It is a vehicle that I do recommend. They do keep putting updates in for it as well, so it does constantly get updated. Lots of repaints with it, and as someone that has driven many Scania OmniDekkas in real life, it is definitely a realistic bus. Definitely worth your money, especially compared to some that do exist in OMSI too. So, I really did enjoy this. A reminder that Adstow is still in beta. This is beta number 6, so it is still work in progress. So if you did see anything that doesn't seem right, please do not worry. It is still a work in progress. These things will be ironed out before a public release. For those that are probably thinking the question in the head, I'm more virtual bus, I'm more central, whoever you are with your voice, when's this map releasing? I don't know yet. This, as I say, is the developer's personal project. He's been working on it for quite a number of years to bring it up to this very, very high standard that the map is now. Very detailed, very high standard, excellent routes. As I say, though, it is still a work in progress, so there are still bits that are not 100% finished. This is definitely the most routes and the most complete I have seen this map in the times that I've been driving it. I'll definitely say that. The detail is absolutely phenomenal. So I would imagine it's not far off now. But again, if the developer chooses to add more routes, wants to finalise some bits, wants to remodel something, again, just bear with them, because it is their project. It is their personal baby, pretty much, in OMSI 2. So as I say, it might be one of these that will get released very soon. So watch this space, but for now, please do make sure you subscribe to the channel. You can check out the previous video where we do the 101 service, and if you subscribe, you can check out my future videos where we intend to drive a few other of the routes that are currently in beta 6. So there's quite a few routes in this latest beta project release that me and a couple of others have been given to showcase you all. So again, do make sure you subscribe, as we'll showcase these routes one by one. We can have a little chat through them, get a bit of hype going for, as I say, as and when the map does get released. So with all that said and done, I really hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have done, do be sure to click that like button so that more people can find it and enjoy like you have. But if you haven't already, do be sure to subscribe to the And More Virtual Bus channel for more content like this from the OMSI 2 world and from some other work in progress maps, Adstow, still got a few more videos what to do with this, and all other bits and bobs in between. Remember that you can send your work in progress bus models, repaints and maps that you'd like me to showcase to amc.andmorecentral@gmail.com. Once again, I'd like to thank you all for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed this one, and I will see you all in the next video, mate. Goodbye for now. Bye.